So today's video is about immigration system of Australia and Germany. And so we are going to be looking into the immigration system, the difference between them in 6 different major ways. But the purpose of today's video is for you guys to be able to choose which one of them is more convenient and easier for you to be able to travel to. And for the sake of clarity, Germany is an European country, so they spend euro, while Australian spend Australian dollar. So on my right side, which is this side, everything we are going to be talking about is going to be this side for Australian, while this my left side is for Germany. So as you're going to be doing the comparison and contract, I'm going to be showing you on my screen in case you can catch. In case I speak too slow for you guys or too fast, I'm sorry. So now let's dive into it. The first area we're going to be looking into is the tuition fee. So as you can see on my screen, for Australia, you saw something like TAF. This TAF is a vocational school. It's a government vocational school. So if you're applying to this school, the maximum amount of tuition you're going to pay is 9,000 Australian dollar. And then for masters, it's always 4 years. But if you're applying to universities like Victoria University, Adelaide, or Dinky universities, these schools, the lowest tuition you can pay is 12,000 Australian dollar a semester. And then, like I said, masters is for 4 semesters, a 2 years program. So at the end of the day, if you're paying 13,000, you are going to pay 52,000 Australian dollar at the end of your program. That is if you're not applying to vocational schools like TAF. But for Germany, you can see there's an example of a school, BBSI. This is Berlin Business School of Science and Innovation. This school, if you're applying there for masters, you're going to pay 9,000 euro for a semester, and then the master's program is for a month. It's for 18 months. That's a year and 6 months. And then at the end of your program, you're going to pay 27,000 euro, which is, if you're comparing, Germany is more cheaper than Australia, unless you're applying to Australia vocational school. So now let's dive into the second topic. We are going to be into the second area, which is health insurance coverage. For Australian, as you can see on my screen, it's always, they call it OSHC, that's oversee health coverage, but Germany call it health insurance package. So what is the difference? The thing about Australia is, when you apply to your school automatically informs you, oh, should we apply for health insurance for you, or you want to do it yourself? Doing it yourself means that you have to start looking for, which complaint you want to register with. But if your school is doing it for you, they will just fix the complaint they are working with. So for Australia, they do that for you, and then all you have to do is pay. And then when you're paying for the whole month or year you're going to be in Australia. So now let's just imagine you are going for masters, and then your masters program is for 24 months. You're going to be paying straight for the whole 24 months. And then the last one I paid was 641, let's just say 642 Australian dollar. And the health insurance coverage, you can see it on my screen, is Australian Health Management. But now let's go back to Germany. The thing about Germany is your school doesn't work with health insurance. You have to start looking for health insurance yourself. After applying for school, you have to also go and be looking for health insurance. But the difference between them is that Germany, you can pay per month. Like, you can pay 58 euro for the health coverage every month. It's not like, you have to pay for the whole year or month you're going to be in Germany compared to Australia. But when you're doing the calculation, Australia is more cheaper in terms of health coverage than Germany. Let's move to the third area. So the third area is accommodation. I'm sorry, as I said it, you're going to be seeing on the screen. The third area is the accommodation. For Australia accommodation, you don't need, when you're applying for visa, you don't need to get an accommodation before applying for visa. But for Germany, it's stated that before you apply, tender your documents to the embassy, you have to show them and evidence of where you'll be staying. It is required. So that is the difference. And then the fourth area we are going to be looking into is the flight ticket. For Australia, you are even going to be told that don't ever apply for plane ticket. Don't book for plane. Don't book for plane. Don't book for plane ticket, because the amount it takes for you to get a visa can be like 2 months or 3 months. So why will you book a ticket then? And then for them, they feel it's not safe for you to just book a ticket. But for Germany, it's compulsory. It's required for you to book a ticket. So what's the fifth reason? The fifth reason is bank statement, which some people call it proof of fund. For Australia, if you show your when you're applying to a school, let's just imagine you chose Udinka University as the school you're going to, and then you show the school your bank statement. You don't need to show them at the embassy. You don't need to submit it at the embassy. You don't need to submit your bank statement again. If they need to say it, they will get in touch with your school and call them if they verify your bank statement. That is all. Why? For Germany, they call it Germany block account. That is not the statements are going to be you are going to be paying money into your Germany block account. It's an offshore account you're going to be having in Germany, and the amount you're going to be paying is 11,904. Let's just approximate it to 12,000 euro. You're going to pay into the account, and every month you're entitled to 992 euro as your living expenses. So if you are doing the calculation at the end of that money, the 11,904 is for a year. The German government want to be sure that you have enough, you can sustain yourself for a period of 1 year without looking for a job to sustain you. So that is the difference. This one for Australia, you can show your country's bank statement, but for Germany it doesn't work like that. You have to open a German block account for you to put your money euro in that account before applying for visa. So that way the government is sure that you can sustain yourself and there is no problem. There's no problem. It's not like you're lying, you're forging the documents. And then the last one we are going to be talking about is, let me repeat them again. The first one we talked about was tuition. The second was health coverage. The third one we looked into was accommodation. The fourth one we looked into was plane tickets. The fifth one was a bank statement or proof of fund. And then why the last one is embassy. So why are we talking about embassy? Australia doesn't have a physical embassy. They only have a biometric sensor where you go for fingerprints and then they will assess you. Fingerprints, and then the camera is going to scan you for them to be sure if you're not generated, if you are real or not. So they don't have embassy in Nigeria. The only African country where they have embassies, Kenya and Egypt. But for Germany, they have embassy in Ikeja and Lagos, Port Harcourt. So why is this so a big difference? It's a big difference because for Australia, because they don't have embassy, it means that you are submitting all your documents online. They will access you online. And you know that because they're accessing you online, you have to make sure that you submit even more than information that they ask you, because these things, it's not like you are going to be at the embassy that you're seeing an immigration officer and I'll tell you, this is required of you. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes, just dash out and get it if it's in your car. There is nothing like that here. It's the documents you're submitting are representing you. You're not seeing yourself. And that's what is going to take us back to bank statements. The thing about Australia is that when you're applying when you're clicking your information, there's a place they ask you that there is a place they will ask you, are you a salary earned person? How much do you earn in a month? If you click on that, that is going to help you because it's going to be showing that the bank statement you're submitting, there is evidence, and you submit an evidence, there is evidence. So it's not just, I will not advise anyone to just skip that and just show them that this is my bank statement. It's advisable for you to click that, show them an evidence of you getting paid every month, or the source of income that is generating the money you show them. That will also make sure that that will make them to understand the flow of money that generated that amount of money you claim you have. And since it's not like I was saying that we are saying it now in the embassy that there is no what I call it. They don't have a physical embassy here. So everything you submit, make sure you submit every document, and that is going to bring us back to personal statement. When you're writing your personal statement for Australia, there's a different format. It's not like they are seeing you can't defend it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to say. Thank you, God. You can't defend your documents So that is why I would advise you that when you're applying, submit pictures of your family, every of the community work you do. Submit them to prove anything that pertains to that will help you. If you have property, snap picture, submit everything for them to see it. They want to see if you are real. They want to see what type of person you are. And for Germany now, there's an embassy. That there's nothing like that. So I hope that we've treated all the all six topics. We've looked into the all six different areas in the immigration system: the tuition, the health coverage, the accommodation, the accommodation. We've looked into the plane tickets booking. We've looked into the bank of statements of proof of fund, and then we've looked into now the embassy. So these are the six areas we've looked into. I hope that at the end of this video you'll be able to select which one of this country is more convenient and affordable for you to travel to. I do hope you have a safe journey and a safe weekend. Thank you for tuning in to my video.